Hey, what's up, guys? This video is about her holding you back. Now, for the guys that's working on themselves, financially, physically, hell, even mentally, you have to understand that is a very, very delicate part in your life. That process cannot be altered, or if anything, if it is altered, it's for the better, not the worse. But when you're in that space, when you're trying to get your life together, that's a delicate area. So you don't need anyone that's gonna slow you down, deter you from your path, or potentially stop you. So normally what happens, you'll have guys, they're trying to make more money or get in shape, or they want to start this business or whatever, and they're running into obstacles as far as family members or friends, or maybe it's a lady they're dealing with, and they already have an ideal time frame to where they'll be able to complete that journey. But whenever they're blocks, whenever they're dealing with people, a lot of times this is just what it is. When they find out what you're doing, they're gonna put up a roadblock. Meaning, prime example, you're a young teenage kid, you're trying to save up to get a car. Guess what? When your family knows about it, he's trying to save up to get a car, because you're gonna tell them, because you're excited, you got a plan, you're gonna accomplish it. You're ready to go ahead and get that taken care of. Guess what? Out of nowhere, remember, you probably been working for a year or two, and then when you bring this thing up about you saved up to get a car, all of a sudden people want to borrow money from you. That's the key thing. I don't know what it is, but automatically people gonna want to start borrowing money from you. And remember, most of the time they're not gonna pay it back. Normally, if it's like a family member, for the guys who grew up in a poor situation, 10 out of 10 your mom gonna start asking you for money. She gonna try to manipulate you, she gonna try to belittle you, she gonna try to control you, tell you what to do with your money, that you should let her borrow money, which she not gonna pay back, bro. So it is what it is. A tough spot, especially a young man, and you're being pressured by your mom to do something that you don't want to do. So that's something that you're gonna have to face. On top of that, you're probably trying to save money up to do whatever, get your a house or whatever the case may be. The whole fact about you saving money, you're working towards the goal, you got people that's in your way. So now people start to get in your way. You're trying to save up to get a car. Everybody, coming to you to borrow money, which they're not gonna pay back. They over here want you to, buy them this, buy them that. All of a sudden, for some reason, before you even brought that whole part up about you trying to get a vehicle, no one bothered you. Am I correct? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, all of a sudden, when you actually have a plan for your money, now everybody want to borrow money. They want you to buy them this, buy them that. So you got to keep that stuff on the wraps, man. On top of that, if you're on your fitness journey and you're dealing with a woman, and for some reason she always wants you to stay inside, or she always want to go out somewhere, keep in mind, she'll go everywhere but the park or the gym. So there's always somewhere where you got to spend money, and you're going backwards. So you over here eating right, trying to, stay on your exercise routine, and she always wants you to stay at home, or she try to love bomb you, or she wants you to go over here, go over there. So that's a key sign that, she's a roadblock. She's trying to stop you, not even slow you down. She's trying to stop you from reaching your goals. So this is a decision. It's not so hard, because if you really focus, you're gonna do this. You just gotta cut people off, man. When you're in that situation, like, I want to lose, 50 pounds before the summer, or whatever the case may be, and then every time you dealing with her, it's always food, or she wants you to stay in and hang out with her all day. So in that case, you just gotta get rid of her. That's all it is to it, man. When you guys, you really focus on your goals, you're gonna if you're really serious about it, you will develop a skill on how to cut people off. That's all it is. So not saying you gotta get rid of them forever, but in the meantime, you do have to just put them on pause. I'll say that until everything, is done. If you guys cannot master that ability to learn when someone is a roadblock in your life and how to maneuver around that, you'll never get anywhere in life. So that's the thing, man. You have to be patient. You have to be serious. You have to be consistent. That's with anything in life. You have to be very consistent, man, if you want to accomplish anything in life. But that's normally what happens when you let people know what your plans are, or if you're working on something, you will run across several roadblocks. I'm gonna say this again: if they're not trying to help you, bro, they hurting you. That's all it is. And I'm saying this too, is, you know, a lot of times it'll come from your family members, and a lot of people, they know it's there, but they don't want to accept it. So they try to give them a pass because, you know, as a family member, somebody say, oh, no, you know, I'll just go ahead and help them. You know, it's no big deal. You know, it's only X amount of dollars. Nah, because when you do it the first time, guess what? They'll never stop coming, bro. So I'd rather for somebody to be mad at me and for me to be financially stable than me to be struggling and everybody happy that I'm over here giving out money and helping everybody out all the time. Nah, bro, you can't do that. So if you're a young man, you come across this video, hell, even if you're not a young man, you're trying to get a damn car. You know what I mean? Don't tell nobody what you're doing. Just go ahead and continue to work. You know what I mean? Put your money to the side until you get to that goal. That's the best advice I'm gonna give you, bro. Don't if it's anything involving money, people always come around, bro. I promise you. Don't never tell people how much you make and what you got plans for your money. This take action. If anything, tell them after the fact. Don't never tell them before or during the process, because I guarantee you gonna have a lot of people that's gonna come in your life that's gonna be roadblocks. So I know a lot of guys are probably thinking like, oh, you know, I can have it both ways. Yeah, you can have it both ways. Again, you know, if you're in your fitness journey, you can have a chick that's willing to go to the gym with you or whatever like that. Yeah, you can have it. But if you know that she's not doing that, first of all, if you're trying to lose weight and she's not, you know, ideally, like I say, the average American is fat. So if she's already in shape, then yeah, but even though she's still supposed to be doing something, going jogging or whatever, or riding a bike to stay fit. So if you try to lose weight and she's doing everything but, you know, the exact opposite, you need to get rid of her. So don't put yourself in a situation to be so caught up on sex that you're willing to put yourself in a bad position. Nah, bro, there's plenty of women out here. You know, at the end of the day, you know, once you reach your goal, you're gonna level up in life, especially in your fitness journey. You know what I mean? Your fitness, your finance, and your fashion. So don't let nobody get in the way of that, bro. I'm just telling you guys right now, because a lot of times when that happens, it's always gonna be a damn family member, bro, that's gonna do that to you. Especially like, you know, your mom or your dad or something like that, they're gonna try to, you know, manipulate you and intimidate you to give them your money. So I know that's easier said than done, but you guys gotta remember, you know, if you trying to do anything as far as, you know, make more money, keep that on the low until like I said, if anything, you know, let people know after if you want to, if not that this is a business, but if you want to talk about it after, because you have a lot of people, you know, they're not even trying to do what you're trying to do. They just don't want to see you do it because they're too scared to do it or they don't care to do it. So you guys gotta keep that in mind. You know, I've been there before to, you know, they try to be consistent at the gym, and they like, oh, you go to the gym too much, let's go to the club, let's go to the bar, let's go to this show, or blah blah blah. You know, it's never nothing that's related to what I'm doing. Now, ain't nothing wrong with going out, true enough, but you guys gotta understand, man, when you trying to, you know, level up in life, you gotta put some stuff on pause. Like, you know, a lot of people say, oh, you gotta quit this or quit that. It's not necessarily quitting it, you just gotta put it on pause, man. You just can't be doing the same thing and expect a different outcome. That's why you're in the situation you're in right now. That's with anybody. So instead of complaining, unlike everybody else, you chose to be different and actually make that change, you know, do something different and take action. So you have a lot of people who's, you know, they don't have any confidence in themselves, they don't have any beliefs, and they can do this or do that, and they run across somebody like you who has plans and you're actually working on it, you're accomplishing your goals. They're gonna be jealous, bro. They're gonna be hating, they're gonna be jealous, they're gonna be envious, all that stuff, bro. Because at the end of the day, I heard that before, and it's true. People are okay with you doing good. They just want you saying, they don't want to see you doing better than them. That's a whole cold reality, bro. They cool with you doing okay, but they don't want you doing better than them. So they can have them I'm gonna go with a Lexus again, just for example. Have you a 2026 brand new Lexus 450. It's gonna be a problem because somebody is gonna see you with a 2026 and they got a 2022. That's the reality. So you tell somebody, yeah, man, I want to get that same Lexus. They go, oh yeah, all right, cool. They got a 2022, and then you show up to work the next day with a 2026. You think they gonna be cool with that? Nah. They gonna be salty, bro. So that's just what it is. Like, you know, they gonna hate you whether you're doing good or bad. But I just hate to see that, and it's like a never-ending cycle. But at the end of the day, you just gotta put your foot down. Ask any millionaire if you run across, not saying a millionaire, somebody who just made a lot of money. Ask them, do they go around just giving their money to everybody who asks to quote unquote borrow money? They're gonna tell you hell nah, because that's the fastest way you can go broke is dealing with broke people. And if you're the only one that's financially successful and you hanging out with broke people, at some point in time you will be broke. That's a fact. So you thinking that, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and help them out, and then, you know, it's no big deal. You know, I'll just have to wait another week or whatever to get paid to get that car. What? No, bro, it'll never happen, because when you do it the first time, it's a test. They gonna keep coming back, bro. You gotta tell them, no, hey, I ain't got it right now. You know, I'm working on something. You know, I can't help you. Once you start developing that skill to say no, you're gonna be okay. Because at the end of the day, they don't care about you, bro. Like they know you trying to, you know, you over here putting in overtime. You really trying to get this car you've been talking about. You probably got a picture of it on your wall. You know what I mean? Like you really focus on getting this car. So if they really cared about you, why they asking you for money? Why they asking you to buy them stuff? Oh, my birthday's coming up. Oh, Christmas coming up. Oh, bro, you gotta put all that on hold. That's the problem, because a lot of people don't have that. They don't have that. That's the best way I can say it. They don't have that ability to just stand on their feet. You know, be like, no, this, no, like, hey, I'll catch you next year. Yeah, that's the thing too. People will do all kind of things to manipulate you. You act like Christmas, this is the last Christmas if you celebrate holidays. You act like this is the last Christmas ever. So when I hear these, you know, no time be females doing that, or a birthday or something like that, like, bro, you act like this gonna be your last birthday. You act like this is the last Christmas or whatever like that, or whatever. Or this is gonna be the last time we can be able to go on a vacation. That shit can wait. And you gotta remember, man, especially if you over there taking care of a family, and you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, they over there draining you dry, you the only source of income, you already in a bad position. That's why it's so important. Like I said, them kids, they can use them phones, and they be doing this, they do everything what they supposed to do. They'll make their ass make some money. Go ahead and give them some kind of job, or, you know what I mean, help them start some little old business from the house, and then that we can start generating money. Because, you know, your wife, like I said, at a certain age, them kids ain't gotta raise their damn selves, bro. So a lot of times, them women, they'll be using kids for example. Oh, I'm raising kids. Man, them kids are old enough. Like I say, it's going back to, you know, back in the 30s and 40s and so forth. Them kids was working at a young age, bro. So that's really what it's going back to, man. So like I said, them kids at a certain age, they can start taking care of themselves, man. So it's so important to have multiple streams of income. I'm gonna say this, I don't care what y'all think about me, but there's no way in hell you got 5 people staying in the house with you, and you the only one making money. So if you in your feelings, that's on you, but that's how I look at it, reality, bro. You got a grown-ass woman, you got some damn teenage kids, and you the only one in the house making money. And that's why you stressed. That's why you walking around, you're mad at everybody, nobody want to talk to you at work. You know what I mean? Like, you never get nothing that you want out of life. You just basically a fucking slave to the family. Nobody contributing shit to you. You over here busting your ass, and they can't even, you know what I'm saying, make you dinner. They can't even make sure your clothes are washed and ironed for work. They can't make sure, you know, you got lunch the next day. Everybody looking out for everybody but you, bro. And you over here at the short end of the stick. So I understand why a lot of you guys are just living life angry all the time, want to fight everybody and do this. I understand, bro. But in situations like that, it ain't gonna work. Everybody gotta work together. That's at the end of the day, everybody gotta work together. So again, when you guys are working on a goal, don't let nobody get in the way of it. Like I said, they're not trying to help you. If anything, the best thing they can do, because I'm not saying everybody gonna be on your team, right? But the best thing they can do is not get in your way. So if you going to the gym, she ain't gonna go with, hey, fine, just get the fuck, just get out of my way. If anything, she can help you meal prep or something. But other than that, this alone, they just not in your way, it's all good. But the moment they start getting in your way, you gotta start putting people on pause, bro. Just put them, hey, I'm working on something this year, so if you don't hear from me, nothing, you know, I ain't acting funny or nothing. But I don't want nobody to get in my way. So, you know, hey, I'm working on this. It'll take about a year or whatever. And then I'll start coming around more or whatever. I ain't saying don't ask nobody phone calls, nothing like that. But let them know what's up. Hey, don't even tell them, say, hey, I'm working on something major this year. I can't have any distractions. So if you don't hear from me as much, or I don't come back around or whatever like that, or hey, you know, I ain't gonna be here for Thanksgiving, all this stuff, just tell them what it is. Hey, no offense, but I'm working on something. I just gotta get it out the way. And that's it. Whether they understand or not, it don't matter. You just let them know what's going on. You know how people be acting all funny because you over here working on something. They think, you know how it is. They start acting funny towards you. You just let them know what it is. Hey, I'm working on something major. I don't need no distractions. So I ain't going to be around as much this year, or I ain't going to be able to hang out or whatever. It's just what it is. I'll get back with y'all next year. You know, I can start coming around more or whatever like that. I'll reach out to y'all when I can. But other than that, that's about it. And that's how you deal with that, bro. That's all it is, too. It's like, say, you guys on them journeys, man, don't let nobody slow you down or get in your way, man. Don't be afraid to say no. That's the fastest way. I mean, I ain't gonna say you're gonna be able to do it in 3 days, depending on what's going on, but that's the fastest way you'll reach your goal. By being consistent, telling people no, that, you know, if they're not trying to help you get there sooner, don't pay them no mind. And like I said, don't be walking around hating everybody because you're working on the goal. Like, no, you ain't gotta do all that. You just let them know what it is. Hey, I'm working on something. I'll get with y'all next year or whatever, or I ain't gonna be around as much. That's all it is to it. So whether they understand it or not, that's on them. And that's the best advice I can give you guys, man. So like I say, there's so many guys that's in a situation they want to do better, but they don't have no support, or they girl, they try to shame them, or whatever like that for wanting to do that. So in that case, you gotta get rid of her, bro. Like, if you can't get rid of a leech, you ain't gonna really never get nowhere in life, bro. That's just reality. So you guys gotta know what it is, and you guys gotta know what it is and understand that, hey, I really care for her, but she hold me back. So you gotta get rid of her, bro. That's all it is to it. So once you master that, you're gonna be all right in life, bro. Because remember, like, it's not an easy road to get to your goals. It may seem like that, but when you actually, get your feet on the ground and you start moving, you realize there's gonna be a lot of obstacles. You gotta understand, you already gonna have obstacles trying to get to your goal. So you don't need more obstacles. That's what I'm getting at. So yeah, guys, if you got any questions, any concerns, you already know. Leave your comments down below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. And no matter what, always protect your peace, your pockets, and your purpose.